On to a Sunday college football doubleheader this weekend. You always get Sunday, Monday games, Labor Day weekend, that first weekend of the season, which is also the last weekend before NFL starts. So that's why you see college games on a Sunday and Monday. We got Virginia Tech and South Carolina. South Carolina, 7.5-point home favorites, 52.5 the total is at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, Sunday afternoon. So love it. We finally got a good Sunday afternoon game on Labor Day weekend. Usually they only give us a Sunday night game, but this year they've given us a Sunday afternoon game as well. Virginia Tech, last year, going into the year, I was very, very excited about Kyron Drones, the quarterback. Now I'm just like yawning. It's like, he did not take off like I thought he would last year for Virginia Tech. And, again, maybe another year experience going to help for him leading them at quarterback for Virginia Tech. But again, I thought there was just underwhelming results from him and really from the whole Virginia Tech offense, at times last year. So, improvement's going to need to be made. And again, you're playing against a South Carolina team that isn't going to make it easy. And there's a big time pressure right now, big time pressure on Brent Pry. Now in his fourth season as head coach here for Virginia Tech, it kind of feels like this is a kind of a make it or break it season for him. And that is going to be interesting to see how that goes. And as you can tell with a coach on the hot seat, we've seen this with some of the other teams we've talked about. What do you do when you're on the hot seat and you're feeling the pressure? You throw your coordinators under the bus, of course, and you hire new ones. And that's exactly what he did here at Virginia Tech with Philip Montgomery becoming his new offensive coordinator and Sam Siefkes becoming his defensive coordinator. So we got brand new coordinators. We'll see how that goes. The offensive line, it should be better, and it's going to need to be because at times the quarterbacks took a pounding, including Drones, and Drones is mobile, but still the O-line was so bad even he still took a pounding last year, and that's going to be interesting to see if that group can shore things up and improve as the season goes on. Obviously, they've got Terrion Stewart, Marcellus Hawkins at running back, Aiden Green, Donovan Green, and Cameron Selden, their top receivers. Not bad as far as the skill position goes. The offensive line, though, he hired Matt Moore to shore up that OC, and let's see if he can, or that shore up that O-line, I should say, and let's see if he's able to do that because that's what it's going to come down to. I think Drones can have a good year. This offense can have a good year if that offensive line improves. The defensive side of the football for Virginia Tech last year, it was just it was actually okay. Believe it or not, it was middle of the pack and 22.8 points per game. It wasn't that bad at all. And remember, Brent Pry comes from the defensive side of the coaching tree, if you will, defensive coach by trade. He went portal heavy for the D-line and the secondary linebacking core. But the defense actually could be solid, steady for Virginia Tech. We'll see if they're able to get off to a good start here in a tough opener on the road against South Carolina and a quarterback that certainly has the potential to at times be electrifying when you're talking about, of course, Lenora Sellers. Now, again, great athleticism, great mobility, nobody denying that. But again, got to get a little more consistency with down to down, throwing the football. And again, durability is going to be a question for him because, the arm, the athleticism, but he suffered that ankle injury last year. And again, being able to stay healthy is going to be paramount here for this offense with Lenora Sellers leading it. The receiving core looks solid. The O-line looks pretty decent. It'll be interesting to see Mike Shula, the new offensive coordinator, here as well for South Carolina because their old one went to App State. Dowell Loggins as the head coach. Defense was very good last year, no doubt, but 6 players gone from that group. It's going to be tough to replace. The D-line definitely is going to have some significant turnover personnel-wise. The linebacking core does look solid. It'll be interesting to see. So the defense probably does take a little bit of a step back from the very solid group they had last year. This is a very interesting game. 7.5 with Shane Beamer. I've always said this about South Carolina under him. I'd rather take points than lay points with South Carolina. It's often been that way. But here's the problem, C-Mac, with taking Virginia Tech. They stink in close games. And this point spread is in a range where 7.5 indicates it's probably going to be a close game, could be a one-score game. Well, Brent Pry and Virginia Tech have not just been bad. They have been putrid, horrific in one-score games. They can't find ways to win these close games, Virginia Tech. So that is my fear of taking the points with them. Kind of lean that way, but like I said, I think for these two teams, I'd rather get a gauge of them, look for something live in this game. From a total standpoint, the total's gone up big time. 45.5 all the way to 52. That's a big move in this total. I think certainly at the opener it was a little bit light. You know, it'll be interesting to see what kind of offensive principles Virginia Tech goes with this season. And again, Lenora Sellers can be a big strike. I think part of it too is Philip Montgomery, who of course was OC at Auburn, OC at Baylor, head coach with Tulsa for years. He always played fast. And there probably will be a tempo increase for Virginia Tech this year under Philip Montgomery. That probably has played a role in this total climbing as much as it has. But now the question is, do you want to bet it still over the total with this much of a move, with it now sitting at 52? C-Mac, what do you think? Virginia Tech, South Kakalaki.
Yeah, you know what? One thing with South Carolina at home, I don't really want to lay points with them. We'll see about with the defense that's come in and out. I think the offense will be solid. I think they'll be able to run the football here. They should have some, success and throw it. But Virginia Tech, but you know why I like them here is you're over a touchdown here. This team can't win games. You're right. Then there's some bad losses in some of these games. They played well, I thought, on the road, even though they lost the Miami game. They were
they covered as road. Road dogs was a good role. I agree with you.
It was a good role, but they lost to Duke, but that was even short. It was 2.5, depending on what number you got, I guess. At Syracuse, they lost by a touchdown. I think the game's just tight here. In the end, I think they can run the ball. Drones, I know he can be a handful. The guy's so athletic. At other times, you're like, what is he doing? It's just like comical. But I think they can do enough in a game. Everyone loves South Carolina here at home. Big money all over, and this line just keeps coming down from 9, 8, 7. As long as you're over the touchdown, I think we got a tight game. South Carolina wins is probably close.